A high-stake cat and mouse game has taken place in the vast expanses of the ocean. According to media reports from Britain, Denmark, and Norway, a Russian nuclear-powered submarine approached the U.S. aircraft carrier USS Gerald R Ford while operating in the Arctic, triggering a major NATO aerial response to track its movements. Danish outlets reported that NATO aircraft carried out at least 27 patrol missions using P-8 Poseidon maritime surveillance planes launched from both Scotland and Norway's Evenes Air Base, located just north of the Arctic Circle. The Sun added that the U.S. Navy bolstered the effort with aircraft flying out of Iceland, supported by additional personnel flown in from Sicily. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes how P-8s stalked Russian Yasen subs pursuing USS Gerald R Ford. Before we proceed, a word on NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted and fastest VPN brand that has a no-log policy validated by Deloitte. NordVPN provides a 256-bit encrypted tunnel that protects your privacy and also enables you to access contents that are blocked based on geolocation. Its threat protection system helps you avoid phishing, scams, and malware. NordVPN application is available for all the major platforms as well as browsers. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal with massive saving by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The operation began on Sunday at around 7 p.m. Eastern Time and stretched for nearly 48 hours, during which NATO aircraft repeatedly swept the same section of ocean. One British outlet described the effort as a very unusual escalation. Flight tracking data revealed a UK surveillance aircraft circling for hours over the deep waters west of the Lofoten Islands, an area where the seabed plunges to more than 3,000 feet. The persistence of NATO patrols in this zone strongly suggested that the Russian submarines' positions had been compromised. Further evidence came from satellite imagery analyzed by Norway's Barents Observer, which indicated that 3 Russian submarines, the Severodvinsk, Kazan, and Arkhangelsk, were likely involved in the encounter. Meanwhile, the precise location of the USS Gerald R Ford, the world's largest aircraft carrier, has not been disclosed. However, reports confirm it is operating in northern waters alongside Norwegian naval forces, maintaining a guarded presence off the country's coast. A former Royal Navy officer told the Daily Mail, "This is NATO showing that it's in control." Ex-Commander Tom Sharp agreed, "It looks like they found a Russian submarine and are leaning on it hard. By doing that, NATO is saying to Russia, 'We've got you in our sights.'" Officially, the militaries involved are withholding details. A Norwegian army spokesman told the Barents Observer, "For security reasons, no further information is provided on ongoing operations." The U.S. fleet limited itself to saying on Facebook that the drills aim to ensure security and stability against hostile influences on critical maritime routes. The Severodvinsk K573, the Kazan K561, and the Arkhangelsk K564 all have Nerpicha, meaning west face, as their home base. The base is located in the Zapadnaya Litsa base facility on the Kola Peninsula and is about 60 kilometers or 37 miles from Russia's border with Norway. Satellite images indicate all 3 subs were out at sea. Severodvinsk is a Yasen-class sub, whereas Kazan and the Arkhangelsk are Yasen-M submarines. Yasen-M is intended as a substantial improvement based on the lessons learned from the lengthy development, construction, and testing process for the original Yasen class, which has only 1 vessel. Among the quietest and most lethal in Russia's arsenal, these vessels are armed with Type 65 torpedoes and cruise missiles such as Onyx, Kaliber, and 3M-22 Zircon. In 2014, the then U.S.'s top submarine officer, Rear Admiral Dave Johnson, stated, "We'll be facing tough potential opponents. One only has to look at the Severodvinsk, Russia's version of a nuclear-guided missile submarine, SSGN. I am so impressed with this ship that I had Carderock build a model from unclassified data." According to Admiral Fago, then commander of the U.S. Naval Forces Europe, the Yasen-class submarines are very quiet, which is the most important thing in submarine warfare. P-8 Poseidon, which costs about 330 pounds or $430 million, is one of the most sophisticated submarine hunting and warship tracking planes in the world. The P-8 Poseidon was developed by Boeing and is modified from the 737-800ERX. It is capable of anti-submarine warfare, anti-surface warfare, and shipping interdiction. It also has early warning self-protection ability. Powered by two CFM56 7B27A turbofans that are capable of generating 121 kilonewton of thrust, it is able to reach a maximum speed of 563 miles per hour or 907 kilometers per hour. It has a combat radius of 1,380 miles or 2,222 kilometers, which enables it to cover large swaths of ocean. P-8 is equipped with an APY-10 radar, which is installed on the enlarged nose fairing. The AN-APY-10 radar provides the synthetic aperture radar (SAR) mode capability for imaging, detection, classification, and identification of stationary ships and small vessels, and for coastal and overland surveillance, as well as the high-resolution imaging synthetic aperture radar (ISAR) mode for imaging, detection, classification, and tracking of surface submarines and small, fast-moving vessels that operate in coastal waters. P-8 can be fitted with the CAE Advanced Integrated Magnetic Anomaly Detection (MAD) system. Poseidon also carries more than 100 sonobuoys. During hunt, sonobuoys are ejected from the plane in the area of a suspected submarine. Each of them will go down to a pre-programmed depth, somewhere between the surface and a few hundred meters deep in the water, and send signals back to the plane with recordings of possible propeller sound from the enemy submarine. P-8 has 5 internal and 6 external stations for weapons and can deploy AGM-84HK SLAM-ER, AGM-84 Harpoon, Mark 54 torpedo, mines and SMART, as well as freefall bombs. In June last year, the Yasen-M class nuclear-powered cruise missile submarine Kazan, along with Project 22350 frigate Admiral Gorshkov, sailed to the Cuban capital Havana, supported by heavy ocean-going tug Nikolai Chiker and the Project 23130 replenishment oiler Academic Pashin. This was a major show of force but may have cost Russia. After the Kazan showed up in Cuba and the euphoria of how close we are to the USA, Russian experts began to realize that joy was turning to sadness. The Russian site Top War calls this a major mistake, saying, "Americans are already laughing at us." Top War mentions, "Some media praise this move near the United States, but it's actually a bad move that will hurt our defense. If it's not impressive, Americans will laugh at us." This move wasn't well thought out because it sent the submarine right into the American anti-submarine zone, losing its stealth advantage. It is believed that the acoustic profile was generated, and this might have helped NATO forces this time. USS Gerald R Ford Carrier Strike Group, which has anti-sub warfare assets like Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, with Sikorsky MH-60 helicopters and multiple Virginia-class attack subs, might have got the initial break, and then P-8 were deployed. It seems the hunter became the hunted.